Hi everyone, and welcome to our video on using the unit circle. So we have our previous information from the last video still here. As a reminder, the unit circle is using the equation x squared plus y squared equals 1, where we drew it out and we have those 4 easy points to find. Well, the way that we're going to use the unit circle in our trig class, so using the unit circle, we're still going to use that same equation where we have that circle. So we're going to just draw that circle out again. There we are, and we had those easy points. I'm just going to mark that one for now, so the 1, 0. It says the terminal points P, X, Y is the point on the unit circle determined by a real number T that goes around the circle starting at 1, 0. All right, so what they mean by this, for our real number T, they're saying if we start at 1, 0 and we go some direction or some length around the unit circle, and then have it stop. So I'm just having a little arrow. And if we have it stop, let's put that also in a big dot right there. They're saying that is the terminal point. So some point on the unit circle found using some distance starting at 1, 0 and going around. So that in the blue, let's mark it, that is the T. And in this case, so we went counterclockwise, so that means it's greater than 0. So that means it's also, the other way to say that is that it's positive. So t greater than 0 goes around counterclockwise. Let's draw another circle just to the side. So same unit circle. So we draw this a lot in this class. So there's where we start. And if we were to go clockwise, let's do that in green. Some length around. Now it could be any length around. I'm just keeping it kind of short. And if we stop right there, that's where we would say is the terminal point. And that in the green, that length in the green is the value t. Okay, so that's going around the circle clockwise. That would be a negative value. Okay, so t is less than 0 going clockwise means it's negative. All right, so on this, we're just going to sketch some easy ones on here. So we're going to find the terminal point on the unit circle for the following values of t. All right, so we're going to sketch these. So let's just get our unit circle drawn out. I'm going to go ahead and draw all 4 the best I can. So sometimes a little tough on the computer drawing these circles, but I'm just drawing our unit circles. There we go for each 4 problems. Okay, and it wants us to find the terminal point on the unit circle for the following values of t. All right, well, first, we need to figure out one other thing before we begin this problem. So they say the unit circle. So remember, the unit circle is when we have a radius of 1. So r is 1 for the unit circle. So it would be nice to know the full length around the unit circle. So that would be the circumference. So let's just mark the circumference of a circle would be 2 pi r. Well, if our radius is 1 and we plug that into our equation, 2 pi times 1 would be 2 pi. So the circumference of our unit circle is 2 pi. Okay, so that means if we start at 1, 0 and went all the way around, so I'm going to use this picture, and if I went all the way around, that would be the circumference. So all of that in the blue would be 2 pi. All right, so I just wanted to show the full length around the unit circle is 2 pi. All right, well, in this problem, let's mark it in green. T equaling pi, well, pi is half of 2 pi, so that means it should only be halfway around this unit circle. So it should put us right there on the negative x-axis. So I'm just trying to bold it a little bit more. Okay, so if 2 pi is the full length around in blue, half of that would be this in the green. That is the pi that they're asking for in this problem. And then they said the terminal point. So the terminal point, we will mark in the black ink. Well, that would be the point that's on the negative x-axis. That would be negative 1, 0. Okay, so that is the terminal point for this problem. Now the unit circle, again, we continue using. Let's do it for t equals pi halves. Again, I'm going to mark that in green on our unit circle. So it always starts here where I have the first big green dot. And then let's use our reference from the last problem. Pi halves compared to pi. Well, this is the same thing as 1/2 pi, another way to rewrite it. So remember, there is a 1 right there with that pi, except we just don't need to show it. So 1 pi over 2 is the same as pi over 2, which is the same as 1/2 pi. Okay, so 1/2 pi is 1/2 of what we just drew over there. Well, if we have half of the circle equivalent to pi, that means 1/4 of the circle then would be equivalent to that 1/2 pi arch there. Okay, so here is the t equals pi over 2. So they usually write it as pi over 2, but those are the different ways to rewrite it. Okay, and so our terminal point then on this problem, right at the top y axis, the positive y axis, so that means it would be 0 and 1. Okay, so our terminal point is 0 and 1. Okay, our next one is 3 pi halves. Let's mark that in green. Okay, so 3 pi halves. Well, that's 3 of what we just did. Okay, so here's 1/2 pi. Here's 2 halves of pi. And then 3 pi halves. Okay, so it's to the negative y-axis. So that would be, let's put our big dot there. That is 0 and -1. So that's the terminal point based on the t equals. Let's mark that t also. T equals 3 pi halves. Was that length in the green on our unit circle there? Okay, and then our last one is t equals -2 pi. Okay, so negative just means you got to go clockwise. So starting always at 1, 0, going clockwise would be this way. Well, the negative is just telling you the direction. The 2 pi is still a circumference. So that means I'm just trying to draw it the best I can around the unit circle. It is one full length around the unit circle, just going clockwise instead of counterclockwise. Okay, so this in the green all the way around is the -2 pi, which means the terminal point is back to where we started, 1, 0. That's that. Okay, so that's finding the terminal points on these special t values. Okay, so the t values are real numbers. We'll continue doing this throughout the course. Okay, so this is a big part of it. Okay, otherwise, I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, please let me know. And thank you for watching.